Thinking about cutting your own hair at home? Wait before you do it. Avoid these common mistakes. Stop using scissors like this and stop trying to cut hair while using a brush like this and you don't really know how to cut it and hold the hair and you're not sure what to do and you're going in and hacking, okay? Yes, this is my anti-static vent brush. You need this, but you need this to comb the hair out like so. This is what's gonna get the knots out. So you need a good brush, first of all, to comb through your hair before you cut it. And second of all, this is what you should be using. I have my own hair cutting combs right here. Shop.TheSalonGuy.com, or you can get them right here through the YouTube shop for my store. But you need a proper hair cutting comb for accurate haircuts. When it comes to scissors, now, can you cut hair with scissors like this? You can. However, keep in mind, and I would avoid this mistake though, is if you're combing the hair and you're ready to cut it, what's going to happen is you get here and you may take a chomp and the hair may bend because these aren't sharp enough. So it's one thing you need to be careful is that if these aren't sharp enough, then you're in trouble. And also you can see my hands, my fingers are actually sliding through and you may end up, causing some issues with your thumb here. You want to actually have the thumb out like this, barely there, barely touching. So you can, and also these don't really, they're not made for hair cutting, okay? Now, I do have my own hair cutting shears right here. They are a bit more on the pricey side. If you are a client, then, you may think these are, a little bit of a higher price point, but if you're a professional, these are like extremely affordable. You can also use YouTube 20, my code, for 20% off. Now, what's gonna happen is, first of all, you're able to have your thumb in here. You're not supposed to put the thumb all the way through, but you can then utilize the sharpness of the shear just by using your thumb like this, and you're gonna get a more even cut. Very, very important. The next thing is if you're cutting your hair and it's too wet, like it's soaking wet, that could be an issue. So make sure if you're gonna cut your hair at home, you can wash your hair, you can use like my 25 spray and the vent brush that I have to get rid of the knots and prep your hair before cutting. Very, very important. And then you can lightly towel dry it and make sure it's damp or wet consistently throughout the head. Now what happens is a lot of times people, when they cut hair when it's wet, they will comb the hair up like so, hold it really tight, and you may even cut from underneath, which I don't suggest, but you're holding the hair real tight, it's super wet, and you cut across, and then all of a sudden as it dries, it shrinks up. So you have to pay close attention to know that when you cut hair when it's wet, it's going to shrink up slightly. So if you're cutting way too much hair, keep in mind it's probably going to be an inch or so to an inch and a half, even shorter. Probably not an inch and a half, but it's going to shrink up. Keep that in mind. Now you may see when us hair professionals are combing hair, we're utilizing things like this, which are called hair clips, and we're sectioning off the hair. Now this is really important, especially if you are cutting someone else's hair at home, because sectioning hair off gives you a much more condensed area to cut. If the hair is too thick, it's just not going to be precise when you're cutting. So if you section the hair off, right, and depending how much hair you have, you can actually section the hair in multiple sections just to get this out of the way, so you're creating cleaner, neater sections down into here and going section by section and layer by layer so that you're able to kind of guide everything down, right? If you just try to take all the hair in one section like this, it's going to get very, very knotty, it's going to clump on itself, and you try to take this hair and cut it like this, it's just going to be a complete botch job. So I do also sell, I have everything you need. Clips, tools, brushes, blow dryers, shears, products, everything. Shop.TheSalonGuy.com. Use code YouTube20. I sell clips. Get this, clip it out of the way. The next thing is overestimating your skills. Now, I've been cutting hair for over 30 years. And, sometimes I get pushback from professionals. Well, why are you teaching clients how to cut hair, this and that? Well, you're the one supporting my videos. You're the ones buying my products. So I want to bring a lot of value to you as a client, right? So the thing is, though, is I get a lot of questions saying, I watched one of your videos and the hair came out great, or how do I cut hair like you on my, husband or my wife, whatever it is. Keep in mind, I have 30 years experience, intensive training from some of the best people, and brands in the world. I've traveled internationally to learn how to cut hair. Like, this is thousands of clients and haircuts that I've done throughout my career to perfect my craft. So don't think that you are a top tier, super experienced celebrity hairstylist by, watching a video of mine. If you comprehend it and you get it, that's great. But don't think that you can, watch a video and be able to cut hair and see the movement and see the shape like I do, right? Or like other hair professionals. That's why I always say in my videos, do this at your own risk. And I always suggest going to see an actual hair professional, right? I'm not telling you not to go. And the only reason I say that is because, yes, there's extremely talented people out there that are waiting to cut your hair. And I know a lot of you say, well, I've been to, 5 salons and no one can cut hair like you, and I get botch jobs all the time, and I truly apologize for that. I can't control that. But the thing is that, it takes a lot of time and skill, and even the way I'm working through the hair, you can see I know what I'm doing because I'm looking for a certain shape. I'm looking to see how this falls. I can see that, this is, the reason this is flowing back here is because the layers I cut are falling here and it's flowing back, like all these technical things. So don't think that you're, a perfect hair cutter just because you're watching one video, which means that don't take on too much, okay? Now let's say you're cutting, someone's hair in the house and they have really, really thick hair, and you take thinning shears, right? Now you may take thinning shears and think to yourself, oh yeah, his hair is super thick, or her hair is super thick, especially when it's short, and you take these thinning shears and you don't know how to use them properly. You just go in and chomp the hair like this, and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? And chomp, and next thing you know, you're either, cutting them, or you're taking too much out from the hair. You're thinning it way too much, or you have the wrong teeth, or you're using a professional tool like a feather razor right here, and you're taking chunks out of the hair, and next thing you know, you've just completely destroyed the hair. So keep in mind that when you're trying to reduce weight or thin out the hair, you have to do it in ways that are really, really kind of like baby steps, right? Just light scrapings like that, and just start to work it in. When you're using thinning shears, right? You want to, comb the hair and comb the hair out like this, and just do little baby chomps like that, right? Baby chomp. And as you get more experienced, that's where you're coming into my realm of things, which as a real hair professional, I'm able to go in and, chomp and, feel for the thickness, and I'm really able to be more aggressive because I know what I'm doing, right? Like I mentioned, I've been cutting hair for 30 years. So I know what to look for and what to feel for. But just be careful when you're thinning hair out like this, that unless you've done it a bunch of times and you know what this is going to do, what this tool is going to do to the hair, just be very, very careful. And out of all the haircut disasters I've seen, a lot of times when it comes to men trying to cut their hair at home, they're going to take a clipper, they're going to have no guard, and they're going to carve a line in their head, and next thing you know, they're like, oh, I just shaved a line, or my sideburn went too high. It's a matter of understanding the tools and how to use them properly. You may have to go through a couple of botch jobs to realize, like, oh, and guess what? Then you go back to a barber to fix it anyway, or a hairstylist to fix it anyway. So was it worth experimenting? Again, I always say, find a really good hair professional. Yes, go to someone, spend the money, right? But if you want to take this on, and I love all of you who say, Salon Guy, I've been watching your videos, I saved so much money, no more butcher jobs from salons, I follow your videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you want to pay me back, buy some of my products. I appreciate that, But, if you want to take this on yourself, cutting your hair, it is somewhat of a challenge if you're doing it yourself or on other people. And I hope you found these, tips helpful and these mistakes to avoid. Once again, I have a handbook, an ebook that I created. It's a PDF file. If you go to shop.thesalonguy.com, you can purchase it. It's only $10. It's going to help you understand the different haircutting shapes so that you can execute or achieve better haircut results when you're getting your haircut, all right? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube 20, that's 20% off, shop.thesalonguy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.